Good morning and welcome in, everyone. Before we get into this morning's update, I want to go over a quick overview of what is transpiring so far as we exit the thinly traded weekend and now we go back to a full trading day. Right now we can see that XRP is flat. It's still about even. It went down to as low as about $2.32, I believe it was yesterday. If we come all the way down here, we went to about 232. Yesterday, we talked about an inverse head and shoulders that looked like it could be setting up. And now even in the short term, you can see a little bit of an inversion that took place here. So this very well could play out as an inverse head and shoulders. We'll take a look at the possibilities here this morning. We'll take a look at the Bitcoin chart and the Bitcoin heat signature map. Because if this came down and did boom, 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 I mean, you could very well play this back up. And it would come back to the top. Even if it's not bullish, it still looks like it would come back up to the top. We know we've got a setup here for XRP, and we've got to get through this in a relatively quick fashion. I got to get my son to school. As he's back to school today, he's very excited. It was kind of hard over the 2 weeks. He's special needs, but he really likes school, so he wanted to go, and now we get to go back today. So I got to be done with this in about 20 minutes so that I can get everything ready. Then I'll hit the gym after we drop him off, come back home, do a short before I pick him up at noon, and yada, 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 so on and so forth. And then if you want to be a part of the discussion tonight, we'll do a live at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, back to regularly scheduled program now that the weekend's over. I do appreciate everybody who joined in on the 2 lives on Sunday. It was a spectacular thing to see all of you participate and try to get out ahead of this market one way or the other. XRP looks like we have somewhat of a mild bull flag formed. Looks like a small inverse head and shoulders in the immediate short-term time frame. And like we talked about yesterday, if this plays out bullishly, this would get you up to $2.80. If it were to break down and get rejected at the pennant flag resistance, it would more than likely come back down here near $2.08. There's a gap in FDG down there around 204, 205. And then we know we've got the one below at 182. But right now this is very bullish. We're still making higher lows and lower highs. We're still on a pennant flag. Looks like a bull flag setup. Big W reversal on what looks like a primitive inverse head and shoulders, because it could be a longer scale one if it comes down a little bit farther. But it still looks like it's set up very nicely. We're going to make some kind of volatile spike here. And whether or not it gets rejected, it looks like it wants to come up initially at least. So whether or not it gets rejected, let's see how far of a move this would be. After it comes up, because 248 would technically be the resistance. It's about 3.5% to see if it'll get that rejection. But like I said, be very, very aware that if this does push up, and like Bitcoin, I've been talking about that 102,000 target short term. That's exactly where it looks like it's trying to go up to now. Golden cross is here. And even on this rising broadening wedge, we've talked about how this pattern, and I've drawn it out so everybody can see it, how the technical target of 122,000 and some change with Bitcoin, how that target could still be reached and end this pattern at the same time. Technically, the rising broadening wedge could be the final resistance up at 122,700 and still come down bearishly. It could do that 100%. And could this be the buy the rumor, sell the news leading into the inauguration? If we get a 2-week surge here leading into the 20th roughly, that's where you're going to see, it's going to tell us a lot about what's going on. Looks like a massive W bullish Gartley reversal is also taking place. It's already reversed back up. So a lot of optimism. We'll take a look at the Bitcoin heat signature map, and we'll get through this in a very, very professional way. Please make sure to hit that like button so YouTube does recommend this update. It allows more people that want to see this info get it without the likes and the shares and also the comments. It doesn't get pushed out nearly as much. So I do appreciate all of you that are doing the due diligence, hitting that like button, and trying to support the channel by sharing my content and helping me grow. With that being said, good morning. 7:43 a.m. Eastern Standard Time on this Monday, January 6th, 2025. I'm XRP Future Millionaire, and I reside in the great state of Michigan. And what a blessed, beautiful Monday morning. Don't forget to give thanks to your Lord and Savior Jesus Christ. Remember, when more than one of us speak the name of our Lord and Savior, God becomes present in our doings, which means he'll bless this community. So just consider that. Right now, XRP is down 0.15%. We're still stuck in this exact same consolidation, still within this pennant. Looking a little bullish this morning to start, but we'll see if we get the carry through. If we get the carry through, we'd be coming up to about $2.80. If we get the rejection at around anywhere between 240, I mean, it could be as low as I think 242. If you look at current terms, it doesn't necessarily need to come to 248 now. 245. So technically we could come up to 245 and get a rejection if it's a fake out. But pennant flags, these traditionally will break out 70% of the move. And we are absolutely about 70% of the move, almost on the money. Like, I don't think you could get any better than that. So we look like we're 70% of the move. And if it's going to break out, that initial layer is going to be about $2.80 based on this short-term consolidation on this flag that's setting up. So we'll see if it can have the influence here of the buyers to start the trading week to see if we can come back up there. We've got XLM that's out ahead of us just a little bit, up 2.58%. XLM's starting to make that push back to the top side. We need to come up to this resistance right now at 47.7 cents. So just call it 48 cents. If we break out and hold that, we have two targets. Short term would be 68 cents, but the overall target would be up there near 94 cents. It would be an all-time high for XLM. And if you see this kind of volatility, XRP will be up towards $3.50. If XLM's up there, whether it's 68 or 96, XRP is going to be well above. If it's at 68 cents, XRP should be right at all-time highs. If it's up to that 94 cents, that means XRP is probably towards $5.40. Just calling it for what it is. So that's how you would see that kind of symmetry between the two. You can see, and I'll look tonight at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time more, but we've got HBAR up 2.4%, ZIL's up 3.8%, which is great to see. VeChain's up about 0.5%. DGB's up 1.8%. XDC's up 3.6%, teetering on 10 cents. IOTA is up 4.5%. Algo looks like it's getting ready to make another move at 40 cents. A lot of these look like the bull flags could play out, but we'll see. Golden Cross is confirmed in the 2-hourly, 4-hourly. So, I mean, it looks like we're about to have this explosive push up, but you never quite can tell on a Monday morning whether or not this is all a facade. And then by 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, 6 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, maybe we have some volatility. That's what's always interesting, not just every single morning, but to start the new trading week. We've got Ethereum working on the right track, up about 0.5%, up $20 to $3,655. This pattern seems to be playing out perfectly. First layer, it got the rejection, consolidated a little bit. Now the next step would be to come up to right around 3,900. But ultimately, we're in a rising broadening wedge, it looks like, longer term. But that doesn't mean that it gets rejected right away. That means we could still come up all the way up here near 4,600 to get a rejection. But if we break out of this, because I think this is likely just the first here, I think in time Ethereum's going to 7,667 if this plays out properly. And we break out of this... This is a very, very, very long-term pattern consolidation, as you can see. That is still trying to finish. It's been going on for a rather long time. And once it breaks out of this consolidation, assuming it breaks bullish, the technical target's 7,667. So something I've been paying attention to for some time. And that's going to be the key indicator for alt season as well. Certain key things need to happen for alt season. And Ethereum... putting on gains, having the Bitcoin dominance go down, and the stablecoin dominance go down. These are all things that would lead us to an understanding that our markets are starting to shift a little bit. I actually, where's this at? I'm going to put this in here because I want to share something with everybody because it'll give us an understanding of what we're looking at right now. I just got to send it to my email, because then I can pull it up on this computer without having to do any further noise. But it's going to show us a nice correlation between a few different things. So I want to share this. I want to do it to my email. Strut Rugali. And I want to send it. Okay, there it is. And now this is going to show us a couple key indicators of what you should be looking for from we have a violent comeback to alt season. Oh, shit. So right now, this is basically what we're looking at here. So we've got an Ethereum Bitcoin pairing. is starting to layer up. We've got the altcoin market cap starting to layer up. Stablecoin dominance dropping off a map, which is what you need. And the reason for that is with stablecoin dominance, you want it to drop off so more people aren't holding their money in stablecoins. They're actually holding their money in the altcoins. That's what you want to see. And then you also want to see Bitcoin dominance fading out. So right now we got stablecoin dominance and Bitcoin dominance fading down. But simultaneously we have the Ethereum to Bitcoin pairing fading up and the altcoin market cap fading up. So that's what you want, are rising up while the Bitcoin dominance and stablecoin dominance is falling. I wanted to share that for a reason, but that's the truth. That's what's happening right now. So I wanted to make sure to have that on a piece of paper. So I'm glad I remembered to share that this morning. The Bitcoin heat signature map is another thing of interest, as it's been showing us in real time. And we'll put it on the, I like to do it in the monthly, because it gives us all the evidence in the short term. But it's given us all the data we need. It really is, because over the top, we've got a lot of liquidity just over the top here. Let's wait for this to settle. But we got a lot of liquidity right here that we've almost tapped into. Look at this, 100,000, 733 million, 100,000, 100, 800 and something million. 100,000, 50, 813, 800,000. Once you get to 100,000, it starts 800 million plus of liquidity. And as you work your way up, look at all this liquidity, folks. We're coming up here. We're going to come clear like 102K probably. All the way up to 102K, you got 400,000 in liquidity. I mean, 400 million. It looks like we got about a $3,000 move in Bitcoin at least caked in here. Because we're not going to come all the way up here and not clear that liquidity. You've also got a cup all the way up here. And then it should take out all this liquidity. We really should be taking out all this liquidity on this heat signature map by Bitcoin. There's billions and billions of dollars. So it makes perfect sense for us to come up here. So the heat signature map is telling us exactly what we're seeing. We just look at the different volumes here. We've got Ethereum at 7.6 billion. I mean, you can see all of them on here, but it's pretty interesting how this is playing out right now. If we look at XRP real quick on the open interest, the overall it's down 1.04%. Futures is down 5.86%. The funding rates, I would assume, are mostly positive. Yep. Liquidations, you've had 2.5 million in long liquidations in the last 24 hours on XRP, so anybody going long and leverage. And then shorts, you've had 2.3 million, so it's pretty split. That's what you want to see. You want to start to split back towards the shorts being liquidated more. And then if we look at the long-short ratio this morning, we've got 2.29 to 1 all the way through the 5-minute to the 4-hourly, which means 2.29 to 1 are opening long versus short trades. 69.63% long, 30.37% short. And then a daily on this first thinly traded, this first day of real trading after the stock market opened back up and the ETFs are open, 2.2 to 1 are going long versus short, 68.71% long, 31.29% short. So that's definitely good to see. That's definitely good to see. The options and futures interest is pretty much what we'd want to see. Nothing really happening there. But yeah, so that's what I wanted to show there. Just some quick stuff, but we'll see if this carries out this morning or if we end up having like a fade. Sometimes you fade on Monday mornings. It's so volatile, but I'm gonna watch this very transparently, see how this is, and I'll keep everybody updated as the day goes on. What we want to see for XRP, if we want to see continuation here, we want to see a push and a breach over this $2.45 area. If we can breach that 245, this can play out more like a bull flag, kind of like a flagpole that plays up to $2.80. If not, we get rejected here and it fails, then you're most likely coming back down near the $2.08 mark. But really, if you break out, you want to break out 70% of the move, and we are right there right now. So that's what we're trying to focus on. And if something changes, when I do my short, I'll say it's urgent, guys. We broke down that 235 barrier, and then ultimately if you see 232 break, it's not looking good. So basically you want to break out past $2.45 before you lose $2.32. I'm XRP Future Millionaire. I'm going to leave it at that. If you appreciate my work, make sure to hit that like button, share this on social media, and subscribe to the channel and join the over 30,500 subscribers that we went over this morning, which is amazing. If you've been a part of any of my 5,200 videos, I really appreciate it. If you're looking to trade crypto, BITUNIX is my most preferred because they have the lowest spot and leverage trading. They have the lowest maker-taker fee, and you can trade in privacy. It's what I do so that all my transactions aren't alerted to the books. I like to have HOTCOIN and BITUNIX. They're not verified. And then when I put my stuff in my verified account, I put it in crypto.com. They've got $250K that you can put in USD in their wallet. That's backed by FDIC. When it's in crypto, there's no guarantee because crypto goes up and down. And then they also have the Visa debit card. It's a crypto debit card that you can prepay up to $25,000, so you have liquid cash from your crypto earnings, and you can go about it that way. BITUNIX I like because they have XRP, AMP, and a whole bunch of others, and it's the lowest maker-taker fee, so if you're a leverage trader, it's definitely the most, that's where I would go. HOTCOIN, not too far behind, but there are some issues that you would have, especially for newer users that you might not understand. But they do have like VELO, IOTA, XDC, and many more. And crypto.com is where I hold my, all the way from DGB to Jasmy to ZIL, VChain, IOST, IOTX, XLM, Algo, and mainly DGB. But there's so many different tokens that you can take advantage of. If you want to send a donation, you can do Cash App, PayPal, or Venmo. If you don't want to send in on YouTube via Super Chat or joining Tom's Army, be greatly appreciative of that. And then as we can see as we head out, gold's up about $5. Silver's up 2.3% today. Fortuna Silver Mine's up 1.1% in pre-market, but that's probably going to surge if silver continues to go. And then B2 Gold's up about 1.17%. So we're looking pretty good here this morning in precious metals as well. We'll have to pay attention. And the US dollar's at 108. So we'll continue to watch that as the morning goes along. Have a blessed morning, everybody.